Catwoman Hunted, the brand new DC anime film, and is the first film that I'm covering for 2022. And this one's quite interesting because, understandably so, Warner Bros., which is an American entertainment company, and when it comes to their animated projects, they are in a Western animated style, right? Just natural. It's just a natural thing, right? With this film, they decided to hire a Japanese studio to make a Catwoman anime, which is not a bad thing. It's just, it's out of the norm. And when something is out of the norm from the previous number of animated films, you go, interesting. Oh, that's different. That's intriguing, right? And this is not the first time they have done it. You had Batman Gotham Knight, which was a anthology movie where you had 7 short stories of different Japanese studios telling short stories on Batman. And then you had Batman Ninja, which was the same thing, but with an awesome Batman Joker fight. But the Western movie, I just didn't care for the whole thing of Batman and the Rose Gallery and the Bat family and travel to ancient Japan and there's giant robots, and I'm like, what's going on here? I just wasn't a fan of the movie. Anyway, and with this, and now we got Catwoman Hunted. And I will say this, I'm not a big fan of the movie, and one of the things that sticked up over the sore thumb was the animated style. I understand, and I always say to myself every time I watch one of these, and I think my brain is accustomed to this because I've been watching these films since Superman Doomsday, right? This is not going to be Pixar quality, like animated wise. This is not going to be fluid. There's going to be jankiness. There's going to be a sense of cheapness towards it. It just is how it's going to be, right? With this movie, oh my god, it feels like they have even lesser than a budget. And the animated styles of the characters, like the models of the characters, I'm just not a fan of. Definitely with Kate Kane's design. Kate Kane's design, because even though it's like a minute of it, because, spoiler alert, Batwoman is in the movie, and there's a point where she hurt the cows off and you see Kate Kane's face, right? And I'm like, why does she look young? Like, I'm like, Selena, stop flirting. Stop doing the flirty thing right now. I felt like, hey, call Barbara Gordon. Talk about, making Kate Batgirl and make Barbara Batwoman now, because it just felt really weird of a design. I mean, Catwoman design is pretty well decent, and I like Black Mask, but there's a sense of cheapness. When characters speak, the lip movement didn't really match what they were saying. It really, the only time it didn't felt cheap was the giant climax at the end, which I won't spoil. But it just didn't. This is one of those first times that the cheapness of the budget of these DC anime films hit me. I didn't know it's just because it's anime, and that's, I'm not used to watching that. I got a free ad included Fun Nation account, but I haven't tapped into it ever. But so me who's not used to it, maybe it's normal, and they're like, yeah, so said that. But for me, that was a bit jarring. But the movie itself, the plot is so simple, but and it is a little bit slightly convoluted, a little bit. Just wait, because of X, this has to happen type of thing. But the movie is simply this: Catwoman steals a jewel called the Cat's Eye, called the Cat's Eye, and after getting hunted down by Black Mask and his goons, she is captured. She is rescued by Batwoman and saying, "You have to help us. You need to help us stop Black Mask and his plans and all the other villains in this movie. You need to do that. And if you say no, hello prison. If not, if you help us and live, we'll let you have a record clean. You are a free woman." But the problem with the movie is that because, my guess is simply this. Because Catwoman, Selena Kyle, is such a flirty, laid back, goes with the flow type character, they want to reflect that to the entire movie. They want her personality all over the movie, right? And because of it, like example, action sequences, there's no sense of stakes. There's no danger towards the characters. There's no urgency. I really don't care of what's happening. I don't care about the jewels. I don't care about, Black Mask, what he's doing. Because it feels like the whole movie is just so laid back on the whole thing. And I just can't get invested with that. I can't be invested with this story. And I'm like, Selena is a cool character, awesome character. Same as KK, as Batwoman. She's a cool ass character as well. And you're thinking the two of them teaming up, in a way it's kind of like, here's your Batman Catwoman dynamic, but it's slightly different. And because Kate's gay, you can have flirting with a Batfleet member, which is normally with Batman, with Bruce, but this time it's with Kate, and you have those little moments in there. And I would like, those kind of are, those moments, and it's only there for 3-5 minutes, however it is. But I enjoyed those moments, spaces of stuff where the two characters are in the plane. I kind of like that. But the rest of the movie is, it's way too long. The story kind of ends. And then it just continues. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. The bad guys are defeated. The jewel is safe. The deal is completed. What the hell are we doing here? What are we doing? Oh, why? Because we got a couple other villains and we probably need to solve them too as well. And then they have a big guest villain that I felt was completely unnecessary. And then they do the big da. I'm like, why are you just even gonna do that? Why you just merge the big giant fight in the warehouse? Combine it with the finale, because here's the thing: the tension stuff that I complain about kind of just happened in that final action sequence where I won't spoil, but and when that happens, I'm like, oh, finally. But this movie is just, it did not click with me. I wish it did. It's just, I'm like, fine, make it, an hour and 4 minutes long, clean credits, or 5 minutes long. It doesn't need to be nearly or slightly over 18 minutes. And hopefully the next one, which I think is a Green Lantern one, will be Green Lantern Beware My Power. So, and that's in the new DC the Cinematic Universe. Even though they say it's not connected, it's connected. But hopefully that one does well. I mean, the voice acting's fine. I mean, they kind of follow into kind of categories, as in you're making a Catwoman character. This is kind of the voice you go for. Batwoman, you kind of go this route. It feels very generic, with the choices a little bit. But yeah, this one just didn't work for me, and hopefully Green Lantern kind of, the next one kind of steers in the direction that I like.